the ultimate honor for any athlete to represent your country and to put that jersey on, to see the flag, to hear the national anthem.
Representing the United States, representing everything that our country stands for, representing its people, its values, its ideas. It's a great honor.
Incredible honor it is to get an opportunity to represent your country. Is can give you goosebumps.
Proud of the fact that every single time I gave it everything I had. I laid it all on the line.
The moment when you pull that shirt on, you walk out and you hear the national anthem, it's a special moment to do it one time. And if you're fortunate to do it many, many times, it still means the same as when you first did it.
This group of players hoping to make a 7th consecutive World Cup finals. Before the action here, US v Germany, there will be a moment's silence in memory of the victims of the tornado in Oklahoma.
Ladies and gentlemen, please rise for a moment of silence. US Soccer, the Deutsche Fußballbund, and FIFA ask you to join us in honoring and remembering all of the victims and heroes from the tornadoes that struck Oklahoma recently, including Oklahoma youth soccer players Kyle Davis and Nicholas McCabe. Thank you.
Beautifully observed by a sellout crowd here in the stadium where the USA have played more than any other matches. Jürgen Klinsmann, it must be a strange feeling to be the coach against Germany for the first time. The last time the two nations played 7 years ago, he was in charge of the German side in a 4-1 win in Dortmund against the United States of America. This week, he and Jogi Löw. Löw used to be the apprentice, the assistant to Jürgen Klinsmann before the 2006 World Cup. They were together then, they had dinner, and they were shooting the breeze and going back through the good times. Still good pals. Jermaine Jones of Schalke playing against the nation where he plays his football, and another German-American, of course, in the side is Fabian Johnson, who's back in the starting lineup today with a new role in midfield. He might give the side a new dimension, move forward from left back for this assignment. So we're ready to go here. The German side have changed outfits. Their almost equally famous second uniform of green this time. The USA, Taylor, have to play better than they did against Belgium the other night. He's calling for better tactical discipline, everybody to be more switched on, a compactness, and to maybe give the Germans a few problems.
Yeah, and I think it's in the one area of the game, and that's defensively, making sure all 11 guys are on the same page. Too often against Belgium, there wasn't enough ball pressure, and that high line with the back four really cost them.
Certainly needs to be a more switched on defensive performance. Clarence Goodson losing his place in the starting lineup today, and Jeff Cameron as well. Was that a little message about how unhappy the coach is ahead of the World Cup qualifiers? We'll see what team he picks when it really comes to matter for the acid test away to Jamaica on Friday.
Well, and I think that's where we'll see the message. If Jeff Cameron's in the starting lineup against Jamaica, then there was no message. That's why you play these two friendlies, to test out players. We're going to see that with Brad Evans at right back.
Certainly no problem for the Germans qualifying again for the World Cup. They always do, and they're averaging over 3 goals a game in their qualifying group. They are absolutely romping it. No surprise. Altidore here, latching onto the chance to deflect behind off Mertesacker for the corner kick, but it was a decent piece of movement that by Josie Altidore.
It's a perfect piece of movement, because watch, now he's switched on, but he's between both center backs. That's where you want your center striker. Too often against Belgium, Josie Altidore is outside the widths of the 18. That's a better run from Josie Altidore.
And the US came up with a goal from a set piece against Belgium the other night, scored by Cameron. Graham Zusi to take it. It's well defended by Hervedez. Back in by Jermaine Jones towards Altidore. Did it come off him last or one of the defenders? One of the defenders. It's a corner. Well, the USA got through the first 9 seconds anyway. Not like Ecuador the other day, Taylor. Germany scoring the fastest goal in their history down in Florida.
Interesting setup right now as Germany is playing a zone defense on this corner kick. This gives Brad Evans, Clint Dempsey an option to get some momentum.
Dempsey was attacking Mertesacker, who's a real giant at the back there. He's the one player in this starting lineup who was starting the last World Cup qualifier they played against Kazakhstan back in March. The Bayern Munich players completed a treble last night, beating Stuttgart in the German Cup final. The Dortmund players are not here either, having played in the Champions League final the week before. But Sven Bender, who started that game at Wembley, is here. And he's in this team today along with his brother, Lars. Michael Bradley, USA happy to see him back. Altidore looking to make progress from the right-hand side. That's Janssen cutting it out. He's the deputy left back at the moment, behind Schmelzer of Borussia Dortmund, but he's played plenty of times for Germany in the past. Big occasion, 100 years of US soccer. There it is, written in huge letters behind that goal, just to remind everybody. Good start from the US on the front foot. It's time to look at today's performance player, fueled by Gatorade. Who is it for you, Taylor?
It's Fabian Johnson. We've seen him now at the left-hand side for Hoffenheim, and he's going to get into the attack with Josie Altidore more often than not. The one time he did that for the U.S., you were there. It was against Slovenia. They scored 3 goals, and he was very dangerous making that 3rd and 4th run out of the midfield. I think he can be a key factor today.
You just about saw that performance through the fog, as I remember it, that night, Taylor. It was a strange one, but it was a good US performance, and Johnson, you're right, Johnson was good there. He has been used at left back mainly by the US, but Hoffenheim, his club, who've just managed to stay up by a playoff.
Back.
Yeah, they've let in a lot of goals. They've moved him forward, and now the US are doing the same. He's got a bit of pace about him, though. Zusi keeping his place today. There's Bradley. And now Brad Evans getting this chance at right back, the Seattle Sounder player. Not his usual position, but he has played there before. It's a big test, this one, with Podolski playing down that side. Referee, by the way, is from Mexico, Paul Delgadillo. The US have only beaten Germany twice in history, both games within a matter of months in 1999. When Bruce Arena was the coach. Here's Janssen. Back to Reinhardt's getting a chance today, one of the new breed looking for an opportunity. And then Draxler, it was blocked by Gonzalez on the way through. Watch Draxler, he's wearing an armband, you might notice, because he's got a couple of metal pins in that arm after an injury, but he's perfectly okay. It's just precautionary. It just makes him feel better to be wearing it. Only 19. I think you might hear a bit more about him as time goes by. Julian Draxler wearing the number 8 today for the Germans. Here's Altidore again, showing himself early on under the challenge from Janssen. He wants a free kick for that.
It's a good start from Josie Altidore, though. 7 minutes into this game, we've seen him already have 3 touches. That's more than the first 35 minutes against Belgium. When you haven't scored in a long time, you want to get involved immediately into the game. Josie Altidore has done that.
Zusi with the free kick here for the US. And that was Altidore going for the header on the near post. It was a sniff of an opportunity, no more than that.
No, but this is a better free kick from Graham Zusi. Anytime you can drive that ball near post, right in front of the goalkeeper, it's a dangerous ball.
Thankfully for the players, it's not quite as hot as it was here yesterday afternoon when the United States team did a pretty fast-paced workout for about an hour. They played a practice match, didn't they, Taylor?
Yeah, it's still warm here, and you're starting to see a little bit of it as Germany has pretty much gotten to the half field and allowed the U.S. to try to build up from the back. When it's this hot, you have to conserve some type of energy, and I think Germany right now, a little bit low pressure than what we thought.
Yeah, I think they're trying to pace themselves. They do not have a World Cup qualifier coming up in the next few days, as most nations do around the world. They don't play again until August, but as already explained, they're in comfortable control of their group anyway. That's Podolski with the header on. He got 2 the other day against Ecuador and is only 1 behind Jürgen Klinsmann in the German all-time scoring list now.
See, Ian, look at the line of pressure right now. Germany has 4 or 5 guys just waiting at midfield. They're allowing the 2 center backs from the U.S. to pick up their head and come forward. As this happens, as the ball keeps moving forward, now if you're Fabian Johnson and Graham Zusi, can you push high up on those outside backs from Germany?
Let's see, here's Bradley. Perfect ball, wasn't it, to Zusi. Jermaine Jones, identified by Jürgen Klinsmann as one of the team leaders now in this side. It'll be especially important for him today to do well against Germany, for whom he has played in 3 friendlies. He's allowed to change because he hadn't played a competitive game for them. Draxler couldn't control it. Back in by Omar Gonzalez.
But Ian, right there's a perfect example of the difference in the first 10 minutes than Belgium. Immediately when that ball's turned over, Josie Altidore, immediate ball pressure, and Omar Gonzalez is in the middle to clean it up.
Here's Lars Bender. He did score in the European Championships against Denmark, playing wide on the right. Now then, Klose getting in behind the movement, and Gonzalez got back very well there to deny the veteran striker.
This is going to be the toughest test, is when Draxler drives into the midfield. You see Matt Biesler push forward. Omar Gonzalez, good recognition to take away that run from Klose. It's so difficult when that second forward of that midfielder is right in front of you as a center back, because both of you have to be on the same page. Biesler and Gonzalez, good job.
There's a little sign, though. The Germans just suddenly changed the pace there. They got closer in behind. Mertesacker tried to flick it on the near post. Whether this defence can cope with the cleverness and the movement and the change of gears that the Germans might have, and the difficulties that might present. Here is Janssen. Stays in play for him. Gets in across. It goes an awful long way. Oh, it is messed it up. Mertesacker has put it wide. Massive chance.
Tim Howard is claiming for a foul right here on DeMarcus Beasley. Loose ball here, DeMarcus Beasley inside, that's a foul. No foul was called. The United States extremely lucky for Mertesacker to miss the goal here, but that is a foul. Beasley had goal side position.
Referee didn't give it, and it has to go down as a huge miss by the giant defender. Perhaps from a US point of view, it fell to the right player. I think if that was Klose or a few others, that would have been in the back of the net. Here's Beasley, cap number 101. He reached his century the other night against Belgium. Congratulations to him for that. Jones wanted too much time. Klose pickpocketed the ball. Here he is again. Needs 2 goals to become Germany's all-time leading scorer above the great Gerd Müller. Sven Bender. Across to Per Mertesacker of Arsenal. part of a very successful Arsenal defence on the run-in, which secured Champions League football for them again. They only let in 5 goals in their last 10 games in the Premier League. Mertesacker was a big reason for that, alongside Laurent Koscielny. Captained the side the other night, Mertesacker. They've given it to Closer this time. He's got more caps. Taylor, it's vital really for the US after what happened against Belgium that they go into the Jamaica game with morale quite high, feeling good about themselves, not off a morale-sapping bad defeat.
Well, and I think it's also important, how often does the United States get to play 2 top 15 teams in the world 4 days apart? So you can have the mistakes you have against Belgium, and then can you fix those problems 4 days later? It's going to be very similar to what they'll face next year in Brazil.
Done a lot of talking, they've watched a lot of tapes. Some of the stuff you've seen at home, what they need to mend. See if they can do it. Zusi to play back. Now then, there he is. Oh yes, Josie Altidore ends the scoring drought, and what a way to do it. It was a sumptuous volley. What a moment for him, Taylor.
How sweet it is. His first goal with Jurgen Klinsmann as head coach from the run of play. And you saw it from the opening whistle. Josie Altidore was active. He was making sure the 2 center backs from Germany couldn't find him. That's all about this run. Give Graham Zusi a ton of credit. He hits it first time. But this is the exact same ball he had against Belgium, and he took a touch. No touch here. First time finish. Perfect. And the weight of the world just fell right off their shoulders the moment that ball hit the back of the net. What a goal.
Feel the relief. What technique that is, by the way.
Perfect technique.
Great goal from Altidore. He's going to feel so much better about life. It's the first time he scored in open play for the USA since June the 11th, 2 years ago nearly, against Guadeloupe in the Gold Cup. His only other goal in the Klinsmann era, a penalty against Slovenia. But that was as sweet as they come. How did Germany respond to that? It is their first visit to the United States for 14 years since they were beaten.
No, and you watch this run from Josie Altidore. Look, he's on the back shoulder. This is what you want as a center forward, because now Mertesacker thinks he's coming in behind. But that split second, look at that move. It's a little thing. Now you have the center back guessing, where am I as a center forward? That's a perfect run from Altidore.
And Mertesacker got lost under the ball, didn't he? Completely. All the credit in the world to Josie Altidore for the manner in which he took that. He's full of goals for his club, as we've been explaining in Holland, but he just seemed to be in a rut for the USA. That has ended here. Oh, and it's dragged wide of the post in the end by Fabian Johnson.
See, this is the kind of run we saw from Fabian Johnson against Slovenia. He has that understanding when he can get forward, he'll tuck inside. Now it's a nightmare for a back four to pick up your left-sided midfielder when he comes in the middle. Good run. Just a little bit sense of more urgency for Jurgen Klinsmann and his team the first 16 minutes, Ian.
Yeah, because often in this game, you can take a mauling, it's how you bounce back. Or it often is, anyway. A lot of football left in this yet, mind you. Reinhardt's getting pressured high up the pitch by Jermaine Jones. That's part of the tactic. Oh, it's an own goal! That's gone in! You can't believe it! What a terrible mistake by Ter Stegen, the goalkeeper. And the US find themselves 2 up in 16 minutes. That was a nightmare. What was the goalkeeper thinking there? Extraordinary.
Well, and at the U.S. training yesterday, we saw this. Look at Josie Altidore over here and Clint Dempsey. They wanted Germany to play a long ball from the goal kick. This is the reason why. Well done. Immediate ball pressure from Jermaine Jones. Now look at this. It's 3v3 out of the back, and it's a gift, but that's a gift started You've earned that gift as the United States, and that's props to Jurgen Klinsmann, because all day of training yesterday, they worked on defending goal kicks.
I think that has to go down as own goal, Marc-Andre ter Stegen of Borussia Mönchengladbach, because he did get a touch on Havede's back pass and only helped it across his line. What a terrible moment for the goalkeeper. Of course, he's one of those auditioning for a place he hopes in next summer's World Cup squad. He didn't do any favours there. Front two positions are filled by Manuel Neuer and Rene Adler. And there's a place for a third goalkeeper. It might not be ter Stegen if that memory lingers.
Well, and it's interesting because a lot of people were probably watching the pregame show with Alexi Lawless and Casey Keller, and Alexi's first thing he said was, I'm going to watch how the United States defends goal kicks. That's why. I mean, yesterday they trained for an hour and a half. 20 minutes of that was setting up defensively when Germany had their goal kick.
Paid off there.
And I get it, it's an own goal. So let's say they take the long ball, but now you're playing in the defensive third of Germany.
Never can tell with this game, can you? What odds would you have got that the US will be 2 up in 16 minutes? The Germans starting as slowly as they were fast against Ecuador in Boca Raton the other day. Yesterday morning they enjoyed the sights of Washington, including going to see the White House. I'm not quite sure they're enjoying the visit quite so much at the moment. Draxler turns it inside. Reinhardt helps it forward. Sven Bender inside. This is a promising looking attack. It's Schürrle. Dangerous play. It's Schürrle! Oh, he can't finish it off. The man who's about to join Chelsea had a wonderful opportunity.
Oh my goodness. Tim Howard's having words with DeMarcus Beasley and Matt Besler right now, because this is not what you want if you're the Americans. At some point, Matt Besler has to come over and support. That is too long. When DeMarcus Beasley gets beat immediately, Matt Besler has to be there. U.S. have dodged a bullet here. 20 million pounds for that man, huh?
That was worrying, though. It was almost a case of the disappearing defense, wasn't it? Good run by Schürrle and all that, but the challenges weren't too stiff. Hovedez, the one looking to restate his case in this German team. There have been a few critics back at home, apparently. We were learning yesterday about Germany even coming here at all without their Bayern Munich players and their Borussia Dortmund players. Altidore, lovely turn. That time Dempsey's in here! Oh, and this time ter Stegen does much, much better.
You haven't scored a goal in over 2 years from the run of play. Let me tell you what it does for you. The weight of the world's off his shoulders. Great turn, perfect first touch. Josie Altidore is a different player just by scoring that goal early. That's the job of a target forward. Hold on to that ball and knock it off for your runner out coming out of the midfield.
Great effort by Dempsey. Good save, though. Zusi, who set up the goal, he'll claim an assist with that one, is Omar Gonzalez. To learn a hard lesson himself after some promising displays the other night, giving away one really against Belgium. He'll put his hands up to that. Zusi towards Dempsey. Don't adjust your sets. That's right, top corner of your screen, USA 2, Germany 0. Germany ranked number 2 in the world by FIFA, the world governing body. Some confusion over the United States ranking. It is number 29. The American Outlaws, the other fan groups already starting the celebrations, but I think you've seen once or twice from the Germans already. They could have had 2 themselves, couldn't they?
Agreed.
Bit of a mess up by Janssen. Zusi didn't really take full advantage of that. Lars Bender to bring it forward from defence. Not able to pick up young Drexler. He's only winning his 6th cap. Here he is. Number 8, they're looking for him to be the playmaker. Like a few others out there, he is on trial. Reinhardt with the ball towards Schürrle. All this part of a massive month for the United States men's national team.
That's a much better job from Matt Besler. We saw Schürrle one-on-one with Beasley have much more time. Besler leaves Klose, comes over and supports.
Dempsey did well. Altidore, who's trying the shot now, and this time Ter Stegen fell over. The ball was way, way wide. But the goalkeeper at the moment is very, very nervy. I think that underlined your point perfectly, Taylor, how confident Josie Altidore is.
We haven't seen that in 18 months.
He's trying to do a Pele almost from the halfway line. Cut out by Brad Evans. So far, so good for him in the right back position. Little chance to state his case. Like a few of these, he's also been named in the provisional squad of 35 for the Gold Cup, which comes up in July. Also on that list is Carlos Bocanegra and a certain Landon Donovan. Foul by Besler, free kick. Mertesacker not having his happiest day so far. Reinhardt's lovely ball through, it's close up, and it's 2-1, but the flag is up. It's offside, it won't count. Denied the goal that would have put him level with Gerd Müller.
This is just where Klose is so good. All game long, what's he had? 2, maybe 3 touches, and he just loves to play those mind games. But that is because that back four from the United States is on the same page. Brad Evans to Marcus Beasley looking right across the line, staying him offside. Well done.
Yeah, he was about 1.5 yards off, wasn't he? Definitely got that right, the officials. Incidentally, last month, just to show he's still full of goals, Miroslav Klose, playing for Lazio against Bologna, got 5 in a 6-0 win. One of the most likeable world-class players there is around. He did a press conference here yesterday. He was all charm. Jermaine Jones to Josie Altidore. Somebody was cheeky enough to ask Miro Klose, did he recognize any of the other players, because he hadn't played for Germany since last October. Reinhardt's looking to choreograph the play and finding Podolski. Here's some work for Brad Evans to do, and he does it too. Janssen loves to attack from left back. He's almost like a left wing back at times.
Well, and for those that thought nerves would be a part of the first half for Brad Evans, no chance. Every single time that ball's gotten to Podolski's feet, immediate pressure from Brad Evans.
Janssen inside, laid off by Podolski to Draxler. It's good tracking back. Dempsey's working so hard. He's given the captaincy to lead from the front, be the inspiration. Draxler. Good pressing of the ball there by the US to get it back.
Yeah, particularly Michael Bradley and Jermaine Jones on the same page.
Marcus Beasley with a long ball towards Fabian Johnson. German players, of course, will know all about him. He plays in the Bundesliga himself for Hoffenheim. He will be staying in that division as well. It was a close run thing. They had to win a playoff game against Kaiserslautern from the second division. 2 games to be exact. Sven Bender's ball forward. Quite interested. He's the only Dortmund player who's come to be a part of this squad. I'm guessing because he really wanted to, didn't want the break that was being offered those players. Only his 4th cap, maybe that's the reason. He wants to state something to Jogi Löw as the US break here with Jermaine Jones. Tries to slide it in behind to Altidore, who'd gone to the back post. It's a misunderstanding.
It's a misunderstanding, but Josie Altidore made the first run was the right one, and that's what Jermaine Jones is unhappy with. On Josie's goal, he ran on the back post. Now you've got Mertesacker guessing. He has to come in front of him there. Jermaine Jones saw it.
Has to be said, it would be a notable scalp for the US to beat Germany, friendly or not. The Jürgen Klinsmann era has already featured a historic away win in Italy and an equally historic one in the Azteca against Mexico.
The beginning of this game reminds me a lot of the US-Germany game in Jacksonville in 1999. It's a 3-0 win, and it was just one of those games where Germany missed a couple early chances and the United States buried it.
Claudio Reyna, Koni Sané, Jovan Kirovski getting the goals on that occasion. Draxler pulling it forward. Podolski got him behind. He did well there, Brad Evans. He had to win that one. Always think Michael Bradley is the glue in this side. Sticks it all together. Give me the ball and I'll generally do something sensible with it. We need him in there. What is a very sultry afternoon in the nation's capital. Is Dempsey. It's behind most good things so far, the skipper. Jones won the tackle. The referee is going to halt the play. ESPN's presentation of US Soccer is brought to you by AT&T. Rethink possible. Sven Bender. Another test for DeMarcus Beasley up against Schürrle today. He's had a few lately and he does well there, learning the left back position as he goes along and learning it pretty well so far. I think he's #1 for that role at the moment, don't you, Taylor?
I do. Because I think he has the one attribute of speed and recovery, but I think it also allows Fabian Johnson to play more offensive.
Draxler with the corner for the Germans. Easy one for Clint Dempsey to get away. Germany won't panic. They're a nation that habitually finds a way to win, though, has to be said, not so often most recently when it's come to semi-finals and finals. Surprisingly, they haven't won a big trophy since 1996, Euro 96 at Wembley, and the man who lifted that trophy was Jürgen Klinsmann. And Oliver Bierhoff got the golden goal that day, and he's Jogi Löw's assistant now, and he's going to stay, despite one or two newspaper reports in Germany suggesting otherwise. Podolski to cut it back. Here needs to be one. Beasley got an important header. Draxler with the header. Howard elect to punch it away. Jones with a slightly panicky clearance after that, but Dempsey's picked it up. Pretty open game, this, isn't it?
Yeah, my only complaint for the United States in this first half is dealing with second balls inside their own 18. 2 of Germany's 3 chances have come from defending not the first ball, but it's the second one. We saw it early on. Mertesacker missed it wide, but it's that second ball in the 18 that's caused problems for the Americans.
Everybody has to be on red alert back there. It's a case of putting out fires, isn't it, and realizing where they might break out before they do. It's a loose ball that time from Brad Evans. Lars Bender. Reinhardt, who looks as if he can pick a pass. I know that Jurgi Löw was very happy with his substitute appearance against Ecuador the other day, which is why he's in the starting lineup for this game. Stefan Reinhardt of Bayer Leverkusen. A lot of players from that club, and Schalke and Hamburg in this particular squad. Sven Bender's ball forward. Klose are not getting that much service so far. As the distinctive Jurgi Löw, who, the word has it, he will be ending his long tenure as the German coach after the next World Cup. I don't think he'll be short of offers, will he?
No.
Schöller.
See, now you're starting to see the heat, Ian. You're starting to see the heat of this game pick up. This game has slowed down tremendously in the last 5 minutes.
Yeah. I was about to say they're conscious of that, aren't they? I think the players out there that they'll need to pace this. It is a very sultry afternoon. That might be an understatement. Coming up after this game at 4:30 Eastern today on ESPN News, the US women's national team in Centennial Day action as well. They take on their rival to the north, Canada. Those two, of course, producing that memorable encounter at the Olympic Games. It's the first time they've met since. Julie Foudy and Adrian Healy waiting to bring you that one later. Schöller. Oh, it's a good idea. Draxler Little made a run behind there, but the ball had too much pace on it. Teller, I'm just wondering whether this German team is going to suddenly change gear at some point in the second half here and really turn on the turbos a bit.
Well, I mean, they've had their fair share of chances. I think the U.S. have done a better job, particularly in the midfield, and I think that goes down to the inclusion of Michael Bradley into the lineup. I think him and Jermaine Jones have a better understanding of when someone goes forward, the other one needs to stay. I think the U.S. have done a better job with ball pressure in the midfield today.
Bradley, nice one too, with Dempsey. Here he is again. Zusi. Needs to be the right delivery now. Definitely a more confident look about this US side. A lot of critics after the 4-2 defeat against Belgium, and there were certainly errors and it wasn't the greatest display, but they were up against a very, very good team who I think will give a lot of other sides problems. Here's Biesler. Pretty much up for grabs, I'd say. Places in central defence. I think Omar Gonzalez is in pole position at the moment, but alongside him, anybody's guess. Beasley. Will be a corner. Well, the requirement was an improved display from the US, and that's exactly what we're getting so far.
I talked about it earlier in the first half. You look at this. You've got 2 U.S. players unmarked right now because the Germans have 6 or 7 guys free. They're zoning. That gives those 2 gentlemen momentum. They can outwin those head balls.
Susi looking for a different angle from the cross.
No, but if that's the case, you can't do a short corner there. You bring Omar Gonzalez forward, you have to make sure you get a delivery.
That time they didn't. The Germans were quick to close it down.
See, now all that short corner and stuff, you have a set piece in your favor, a corner kick in your favor, and that's what you get out of it.
It's all right for Spain to play the short ones. They never play crosses in, do they? Generally, because they've got nobody tall enough to win headers unless Sergio Ramos comes forward from the back. Schürrle looks like he'll be wearing the blue of Chelsea next season. Deal seems to be agreed, if not signed yet. Looks like he'll be coached by Jose Mourinho there, so I'm guessing he must have okayed that deal. Though you never can quite tell at Chelsea.
No, and it also looks like that De Bruyne will go from Chelsea to Leverkusen as part of that loan.
Yeah.
I'm not sure Schürrle is that much better than De Bruyne.
Well, that's the argument, having seen them both in the last few days.
Wow.
Doesn't matter what we think, does it?
No, of course not.
We're not doing the signings. Jones, nicely measured. DeMarcus Beasley. Altidore and Dempsey trying to work something together. Easily cut out that time. Still 2-0 for the US. And one of those goals, an absolute peach by Josie Altidore. The other really was Keystone Cop stuff.
It's very difficult when you haven't played right back to make that understanding of when to defend that overlapping run. Brad Evans has done this 3 or 4 times in the first half.
Big examination. I'm sure in his mind he's thinking this is the biggest game he's probably ever played, even though it is a friendly.
Well, arguably, it's out of his position.
That was his header away as well, by the way. Draxler, lovely piece of skill, wasn't it? Turned back towards Podolski, who couldn't keep it down, not like him. And he can't half crack a football.
Well, the scoreline of this game is 2-0, but Germany has had 3 quality chances, and you look at Podolski just kind of slithers his way behind the 5 or 6 defenders from the U.S. It's really been the storyline this first half. Germany's had their chances.
Lovely piece of play, wasn't it, by Draxler, setting that up. He has a $70 million release clause in his contract with Schalke. That's how highly they rate him. Altidore. Fabian Johnson, almost invited to line one up. Zusi's cushion, ball forward. Jermaine Jones getting through a stack of work. Corner.
Now Germany's completely changed how they're defending this one. Dempsey, Gonzalez, and Michael Bradley are man marked.
Wasn't the best corner, didn't beat the first defender. Beasler's ball forward, not accurate enough, and possession rather surrendered. But he had a storming game in the Azteca when the US got a very good goalless draw in the World Cup qualifier recently. And he's forced his way towards the front of Jurgen Klinsmann's thinking. Sporting Kansas City player. Bradley and Dempsey and Altidore. That's too long though for DeMarcus Beasley. And he's very, very quick on the recovery every time.
That's the thing about DeMarcus Beasley, and you can beat him once, but you can't beat him twice. And this is a perfect example. He's already beat once. Okay, now I'm going to follow this play through. It's a professional foul, and it allows everyone to get back behind the ball.
He's helped by the little tug, it has to be said there. This is appearance number 101, that elite club of only 13 players right the way through US soccer history who have over 100 caps for the men's senior team. Remember, they fly to Jamaica on Tuesday to get ready for that big World Cup qualifier on Friday away from home. Not an easy place to go. A few places are, of course, in the CONCACAF Hex. No particular hurry from the Germans. Here's Mertesacker, who missed that big chance early on to put Germany ahead. Sven Bender. There's his brother Lars. They've worked that well between them. Sven Bender to cut it back again, and Omar Gonzalez is in the whale. Always eat those up. Schürrle's come out to the left-hand side, his more natural habitat. Draxler again looks offside there. Closer, he certainly was. United States team here looking to make it a happy 100th birthday for US soccer in this landmark game. The first US men's game, by the way, wasn't back in 1913. It was 1916 in Sweden, a 3-2 win in Stockholm. Not bad start. Away win in Europe.
What an event last night as well.
Oh, yes. Tremendous, wasn't it? The birthday dinner. Beautifully staged, I thought, by US soccer.
Just trying to figure out why no one sat at the table with you and I.
Yeah. Must have been something we said. Either that or the wrong deodorant. And a whole raft of substitutions likely later on here. Just the way of it with international friendly matches. Germans would love to get one back before the break, though, to have something to bite at. Here's Marcel Janssen. Andre Schürrle. Janssen not picked up really by Zeus. He got behind him very, very easily. Beasley got it away. That was alarming, really, how easily the US defense was unzipped on that side.
Get up, get up, get up. Keep going, keep going, keep going.
Not exactly the ball that Ter Stegen wanted. He's certainly being a central character in the drama, and the drama has ended for the moment with the US in an improbable 2-0 lead. The big story here, Josie Altidore breaking a long scoring drought with a sumptuous volley into the corner of the net. The second was an own goal. So far, very happy 100th birthday celebration for the US, but there's plenty of life left in this yet. 2-0 to the US as we hand it back to Bob.
Amazing first 45 minutes here with Casey Keller and Alexi Lalas. Josie Altidore in the first 45 minutes of this match has more shots than in his prior 4 national team appearances combined. Four shots.
Great first 45, but just as the sky wasn't falling after the horrible performance against Belgium, it's not as if the U.S. team is going to go win the World Cup after this 45. However, I've been very critical of Jurgen Klinsmann for not living up to this proactive approach that he has promised. But this first half, from the very first whistle, tactically, he had this U.S. team come out and pressure Germany. He out-Germaned the Germans, all right? And it resulted in the goals. That is important. First 45 minutes, great. Let's see how they finish off this game.
Bradley's back. Evans looks good at right back.
Yeah, it's made a difference, no question, but you've also seen 2-3 opportunities that the Germans created. Something that the U.S. has to be still a little bit careful on. There's a little overcommitment to go out wide, allowing to come inside, get some good shooting angles. Fortunately, one of them fell to Metasecker, a center back. But you would have thought that Schürrle would have finished the chance that he had, and it would have been a whole different ball game right now.
But on a day of planned celebration for the first 100 years of U.S. soccer, there could be another celebration in the works for what is unfolding here in RFK Stadium in the 13th minute. Zuzi's feed. Altidore puts it home, ending a long 2-year scoring drought. Much to come at the half.